certainly. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast today. So my name is Nupur Kohli, and as many people in the Netherlands know by now, is I was born in the Netherlands. I was born in Amsterdam North, and I have a father who was born in India and a mother who was born in Suriname. And it's beautiful to see how these cultures and roots are the same as we are Sanatanis, and that is also what connected us together. And I grew up in a very loving Hindu family where we also carried the Hindu values and where we also learned what a beautiful country Netherlands is, where everyone can equally grow up. And it is wonderful that I could also see how especially our Bharatiya community and also the Suriname Hindustani community could grow in the Netherlands. And we are such a strong community who has worked so hard. We are definitely not victims here in the Netherlands. And it's beautiful to see what good roles, and especially on politics on a local and national level, there's so many of us who are contributing in such good ways on a province level as well. And that's amazing to see. So I'm a medical doctor by profession. I'm a doctor for children. And why I chose my profession as a doctor is I've always learned that seva and especially caring for society is such an important thing to do. Giving back to society is one of the most important and honorable things that you can do in your life. And my roots have always inspired me to follow the path of dharma and has also shaped me to what I am today because dharma is my duty. And to fulfill your duty is a beautiful thing. And in my consultation room, I can be there for one person. But as many kind Dutch people in my life showed me, is that politics is also a way of having public service here in the Netherlands, and that is why I joined politics. But I believe we will be talking about that more in this conversation as well.
So thank you for the introduction. The maybe you tell us a little bit more about what made you join politics.
So, especially when my father also came to the Netherlands and also my mother, they did not have much in life. We did not have much money also back then when we were young kids. I have two sisters, besides my father being very happy to have three daughters. But we've lived not always a very easy life. And having seen the problems, having lived the problems in life, and also having seen what problems people in the Netherlands that are live here have, that has been my greatest inspiration to join politics because we all have to live together in the Netherlands. And if we all want to live together, we also want people to live an honorable life, a life where they feel they get chances and where they can grow. And that has been my greatest inspiration to join politics, to be there for the people, especially what we also learn in our culture, a culture of seva.
Okay, so let's now move towards deeper questions. So, just in your introduction, you said that we are everywhere, and by we I mean Hindus or Hindu community, and we are
Yeah,
well represented in local governments, provincial governments, and elsewhere.
yeah.
However, when I speak with people, they say that our community is underrepresented, and it is not
Mm.
portrayed properly in the media, in the academia, in the politics. So, when you say that we are well represented, so could you please clarify what you mean by that? Is that a perception issue, or indeed we are there in large numbers but not visible?
So the interesting thing would be what we mean with a large number as well. So if you look at a province level, there is in the south of Holland there is a representation of our community. It's a great, beautiful start. So where we are represented, it is very good to see. Also, when we look at the Hague municipality, they're from the CDA, but also from Party de Mos, and also in GroenLinks PVDA, we see a Hindu representation. But also when you look at North Holland, there's a representation. But of course, when you look at the Tweede Kamer, there for many years we did not have a representation. So definitely we should be there. However, I do see that many Hindus are members of these parties. So there's definitely a lot of work to do there. We can do a lot about our visibility as well. And that is something we have to do together as a community, because working together is something, as a unity, that is something we definitely should do in the Netherlands, to be united there for each other. And as I said, we are such a strong community. We're here with love, we're here with peace, and that is also what we carry out.
So you say that the you also admit in a way that in the national politics we do not have enough representation. As far as I know, that Hindu population in Holland is somewhere between 200,000 to 250,000. If you look at the present elections, you see that there are only three Hindu candidates, maybe three or four or something like that. So, my question to you is that making sure that Hindus also become visible and active in national politics, is that part of your work? And if yes, then what will you do to make sure that it happens across the party lines?
Well, it is very important to also have more Hindus, of course, in general, in politics, whether you are a member or you become local at a municipality level or a province level, and definitely also at a national level. Yes, for sure, we should have Hindus there. And especially also organizations, I believe you're also from such an organization. We all have to work together to stimulate people as well, that politics is not something dirty, it's something nice, which you can also be part of. Definitely also give your name. I believe for me, a beautiful vision and also a goal for the future would be that I'm now the only one here on this call, and there will be a few more podcasts, I think. We should maybe have 10 or 20 of those. That's what we should envision for the future, and also inspire our young people for this, because our young people are looking at us and they think, wow, I see a Hindu person now standing for Dutch national elections or for the municipality elections or for the province elections. And that we also do through all our beautiful organizations that we have in the Netherlands, because that is what I want to hear. When they tell me, oh, I have a beautiful talent here, or I have a person who does really, really well, then I'll be like, of course, we need to take this person with us. And that is what we should look at. What I already said, that unity, that working together. And I believe that is such an amazing thing we can do together.
So you see, the nature of our community is that they are not very much politically inclined. They focus upon family, they focus upon income, they focus upon generating wealth. But what you see is that when they ignore politics, often what happens that they are not represented properly in the media, and also sometimes they are put into disadvantage. So
Yeah.
how do you really make sure that the community becomes more active? How do you what do you do at your personal level to make sure that it happens?
Oh, yes, certainly. So I had a really fun last 2 months, 3 months actually. So what I do throughout the year is that in every city, either I organize a session or an organization organizes a session. And this time, also the last few months, many people from the community organize sessions in their cities where we, in a very nice way, just had a good dialogue about what politics is in the Netherlands. What does politics mean? Not only what I stand for, but we also looked at other parties. What do they stand for? And in this way, people get used to what politics is. So in the national elections, only people with a Dutch passport can vote. But I especially encourage people also without a Dutch passport to come, because maybe in a few years they will become a Dutch citizen, or they might have Dutch citizens around them. But especially also when you look at the municipality elections, where people with a residence permit can vote, it is very important to have these dialogues and to have these conversations, to understand better not only what different parties think, but also what do you yourself think, and also especially inviting young people to be there, women. that if we look at our women, especially Hindu women, um, I believe that we should have more women in politics, because that is also part of an equality that we can create with each other. So I've worked really hard for that the last few months, to really reach out to the people, have those personal conversations, and not with a point of view that, oh, this is my standpoint. No, I wanted to hear from the people. What is it that concerns you? What is there in your life? What should I know? Because um, if I'm not there at a certain place, then I want to know what is happening. So those things I'm doing right now. I've done that yesterday, and I will also continue doing that after the elections, because that is how we create that base for our future. And I'm now a start. There's one drop, and that should grow into a sea.
So let's change the gears and talk about the topic of discrimination and religious freedoms. So
Mhm.
many people have found that when the incidents take place against the vandalism, let's say the incidents of vandalism at the temples, then in the
Mm.
Dutch politics, you never hear a strong criticism of that. And of course, luckily, fortunately, these incidents are very few in Holland as compared to other countries like Canada or US or even UK.
Yeah.
But suppose if these kind of events happen in the future, what will be your stand and how will you make sure that these things are condemned and people are punished for doing those kind of things?
Yes, this is a very important point that you are raising, and it really hurts me in my heart when these things happen, and when these things are there. And at that point, and I've also done that at the moments that it happened, is um, to also talk with the policymakers itself. So it's not often visible in public life, but these conversations do happen. That um, I see this happen, and then to address it with people at a higher level as well, so we can think ahead how we can prevent this in the future. Because whether we like it or not, it will not only be me, it will not only be my party. There should be a larger awareness that this is happening. So one of the things that especially also my party will be doing is injecting 1 billion euros to a stronger police force. And on my own front, whenever there will be vandalism or something is happening, um, I will also stand for our community, because that is so important. And people should also know that they have a voice, and that there's the safety that that voice is there, and that if they do not feel comfortable to share anything in public, they can always come to me personally. So my messaging, my phone number, it is always there. And people reach out to me and they share things with me, and whatever is in my power, I have in many capacities help people uh, all over the Netherlands, and I will always stand for that. We need to be able to live in a safe way here in the Netherlands.
So you talked about all kind of the action behind the curtains. Could you please tell us some one or two instances in which you or your party took a strong public action, publicly visible action against such kind of events or such kind of incidents?
So I am not elected yet, but we have what we did discuss is, so what parties are there already that already talk about this point. So you have the PVV, for example. So I believe I can better ask you if they already took action on this front. Maybe Geert Wilders has visited a temple or a mandir. I should ask him actually if he did that part.
Probably he
Um,
didn't. He
Sorry?
didn't. I think he didn't.
Oh, he didn't.
Yeah.
No, so we have talked about it on a higher level, that no minority group, actually no person should actually be discriminated. And the great thing is that we have a national coordinator for discrimination and racism as well. So what we have done in the Netherlands, those tasks are with the national coordinator, and those points are also being put with the national coordinator, because for parties individually there are other tasks. So I've taken this higher up, and of course in the future we have to stand for this.
So, do we gather data about specific incidents against the Hindu community? Or everything is being put in one bucket?
Well, this is a very interesting and important point that you're raising. Uh, We probably should start doing this, because even if you look at CBS, when you put there how many Hindus live in the Netherlands, they do talk about country background, but finding data about religion, it is not from this year at least. And also this type of data, it is very important that you're mentioning, and I will personally take this point with me to see how we can also better monitor what is happening on this front. Because when we know what is happening, we can also do something about it.
Right. In fact, I checked the CBS website about demographics, and they talk about many religions and no religion people in Holland, but Hinduism has not been mentioned there. So there is a category called 5% others, and I
Yeah.
assume that those 5% others include maybe 1.5% Hindus in the country, but it is not reported. Huh?
So this is a very important point to address, and I'm actually happy that that you're now also pointing it out. I I I think I did not hear it anywhere else yet. So when these things are pointed out, for example, I can definitely take this with me and see how also the CBS can do something with this.
Right. So let's turn a little bit and talk about some other issues that concern the Hindu community.
Hmm.
So you know that the debate about migration is quite hot in the country.
Yeah.
And let's say most of this debate is about negative effects of migration on the society. Like people coming to this country, they are resorting to welfare, they are taking away the houses and so on. Now, here the big concern is that in Hindu community, a lot of people have recently migrated from India, and we already have very strong Suriname population. And these people contribute to the society, and they
Hmm.
do not resort to welfare so easily. So now the worry is that all kind of migration is being seen as something negative for the society, and what we want is that the politicians should make a distinction between good migration and bad migration. So, how do you see that part? And what will be the position of your party about the topic of migration?
Yeah, this is very important. So, my party explicitly does differentiate between high skilled migrants or legal knowledge migrants. Actually, we have three groups where we look at. So, the high skilled knowledge migrants, those are around 18,000, I believe, last year, because we've looked at the numbers as well. It's actually the smallest group. And then come the asylum based migration. And after that, you have what we call the labor migration. So we actually look at three different groups. And based on that, we also look at what policy should be there. So we already did this. We will keep continuing this. And very specifically in our party program, actually, we do mention that we want more trade with Asia, and with that we also mean India. So my party had a very, very friendly and a very good relationship with India. Actually, if you Mark Rutte is now in a different role, but in the time that he was prime minister, he had a very friendly relationship with India at that point, and that has also resulted in that we look friendly at that. But I'm a member of the party. I know more Hindus that are a member of the VVD as well. So that all also helps in putting forward this positive story, and absolutely the party is well aware.
So, Nupraji, this I think this question is very important about the positioning of good migrants uh, in the society. And
Yeah.
because your parents are also migrants. Now, the challenge with the migrants is that if they are not doing very well, then the majority people they resent it. But if they do too well, then also they resent it. So just recently, I saw an article in the newspaper which was kind of like blaming expats for buying all the new houses and overbidding for them. So, in a way, actually, it puts the people in a very kind of strange situation that if you are doing too well, then also people are not happy. And how do you correct that perception?
Yes, thank you. I have read that news as well, and it has been put in a very black and white way. That is unfortunately how the media has put it, and there also then lies a task um, to again, when we talk about our visibility, so it's very important that people from also the Hindu community are more visible in public life, and also share the good story, the right story. It will create more awareness that our community is here, and if such stories are come up, to bring that story. In what way do we contribute? In a good way, also share about the history of the people that have come from India. And definitely, our community is very much appreciated because they work with ASML, they work with EY. I've worked for some time with EY myself, so I know that many people from our community work there. But also, I'm a medical doctor, so there's an association for doctors of Surinamese Hindustani descent. All these people, we can think of ways to become more visible in this public life, and then also carry out the right stories. So here they say expats. They did not specifically, I believe, say who the expats are. But absolutely, when these things are being mentioned, we have to tell the right story, and also do that together.
Let's talk about our foreign policy and Hindu persecution abroad. So,
Mhm.
last 2 years, we have seen quite disturbing news from Bangladesh about Hindu persecution. After that, this incident happened in Pahalgam when Hindus were targeted by the terrorists. Recently, I was reading a newspaper from Pakistan in which a young Hindu girl, I think she was 15 years old, she was abducted and forcibly married. Now, you see that whenever these kind of gross human right violations take place, there's a very little discussion about these things in Dutch media. Often people say that it's a fake news, it is coming from India. So, what is your view on that? And what you would do if you get elected to make sure that people really understand these topics properly? And if the countries are promoting Hindu hate or violence against Hindus, then we stop working with them. We stop giving aid to them and all that. So, what do you think about that?
Oh, very, very interesting question. So, the nice thing in the Netherlands at the moment is that we have a group of people who already are working on this topic. They also work on how Hindus in the media are being projected. They have gatherings, so it's really nice to see that they are there. And I, of course, am also here to hear what is coming out of their discussions, because once you're elected, but also in political life, as I shared, I'm at many places, but especially things that come from these gatherings, it's important also for me to hear. And there should not be any. there should not be, at least in the Netherlands, not be any discrimination or racism. And when it happens abroad, yes, I personally, I would condemn and also stand for any hate or persecution crimes against Hindus. And the more people will do that with me, because it's also a collective. Because when you live in the Netherlands, you're here actually also as guests, so to say, because the history of the Netherlands is very different. So when I would condemn that and stand for any hate or persecution crimes, then the more people that join, and also people in other important positions, that will give that weightage. Because when something has weightage, then it also becomes more visible. And that is, I believe, what I already said: working together, the unity. That is what we should work on, and not in small silos, in small groups, small islands. Together, that is, I believe, what will also help in these cases.
So I'll drill down further in this topic. So when Bangladesh incidents took place, or when Pahalgam incident took place, what did happen within your party? Did anybody discuss it? What was the general reaction? And the so can you just tell us about that? Because the general feeling is that those events were simply ignored, or they were kind of like hushed down or something like that.
So I personally, I shared about it on my social media as well, and I told the right story, and also in different places. So I did that on my end. So not only my party, but literally every party in the Netherlands is here to work for the Netherlands and the people who live in the Netherlands. So it was being spoken about, but if not someone from a certain political party brings it up as a specific debate topic, um, then uh, then it is also not being discussed. So I think there's also, again, a task here for the Hindu community at large. Have our political leaders there, or if you know a political leader that you admire, or you think that is a great political leader, he or she can be Dutch, to also from the community directly get in touch with that person to also do something with it. And from my party, we definitely spoke about it, but this is maybe also something for the future where you and your group, I believe it's an NGO that we're talking about. Your NGO can also give much input for that for the future.
Yes, so I think we have now reached almost at the end of the interview. So my last question to you, Nupurji, is that if we have to choose between three parties, VVD, YA21, and PFFA, then please tell us why people should vote for you and for your party.
Um, so, as I already said before we were recording, there are 27 parties this time in the Dutch national elections. And I am in great favor of everyone knowing what parties are there. But of course, if I get the question
I have
to
simplified
vouch
that.
for myself,
I have simplified the question now with three.
yes, please simplify the question. Why should you vote for Nupur and why for VVD?
Yes.
Definitely, I will share that. I'm a medical doctor. I stand for good and accessible healthcare and safety of all the people in the Netherlands, at home and on the streets. I'm here for women's safety because women are such an important pillar of society. Also, to have a house for every generation. There's a great housing shortage at the moment in the Netherlands. If you believe in all of these points, which are also the party points, then please vote for Nupur, list 3 VVD, number 48.
So thank you, Nupurji. This was Nupur Kohli, candidate for Dutch Parliament elections from the party called VVD, list number 48. Thank you very much, Nupurji.
Thank you so much, Anurag ji.